there, welcome back to my channel. It's Antoinette here, and I wanted to kind of share a spread. This is one that Gisele over at Madwitch on YouTube has created, and number one, she captured my imagination because she did it with decks that I own, all but one. So one deck I have replaced with one of my own selection, and two, it was a really intriguing spread. And I just really fancy giving it a go in my journal. So I have had a go at it, and she asked me would I do a video, and I really wasn't sure about this. So I've laid it out, and I figured we could maybe go through some of the spread, and what I'm open to is politely in comments. If you see anything extra in the spread that you think would be worth adding, then please do go ahead and jot it into the comments below. I mean, I have a rough idea of what I feel this spread is telling me, but I haven't long journaled it yet, so I haven't actually worked out the intricacies of what this one's doing. So I think it might be a fun practice exercise, or you can use it as your own spread, and you can jot down your own notes and use it to help yourselves with what's going on. Now, I have multiple decks in front of me, and the spread is laid out as I've done it already. So I've actually given you my real cards, because there's no point me talking about fake ones. And what I have used is Gisele created this beautiful spread arrangement with different decks. So the main deck is the Tarot of Mystical Moments, and the main cards run down the middle here. So this is question 1, question 2, and question 3. For each question, there is a sub-question which comes to the right-hand side. So my sub-question is the Hush Tarot. For this one, it is the Tarot Nuages. And for question 3, it is the Trionfi Della Luna. And you'll see why there's 4 cards and why one's turned that way when I flip them. And then we have a row of oracles for clarifiers or further advice on the spread that we read on the right. And this is the Oracle of Mystical Moments to clarify question 1's answers. We have the Deviant Moon Tarot, which is being used to clarify both numbers 2 and numbers 3. So you can see already why she had me pinned when she did this, because she's used the Deviant Moon predominantly. She used the Hash Tarot, which I love. The Mystical Moments Tarot and Oracle I had on order already, and fascinated me how she used it, and I just couldn't wait to get in and try this. If I just drop my journal here, so I'm hoping I'm in screen, I can't see what's on the screen anymore, but so I've very carefully laid out what's here. So this is called the Soul Path spread, and Gisele very kindly said to share it. So you can go across to her channel, and I will link her video below if you want to see her sharing her video and her setup. And I've basically written it out here. You have to excuse me, sorry, I've splurged my ink. So question 1 here, the main question, is where am I currently on my soul path? And then the question that comes with it is where, my shadow self. So here's my shadow self on my soul path, and here's my soul path, and then the oracle for clarification. Question 2 is how do I unlock doors to aid my spiritual growth? And then the sub-question to that is what lurks in the shadows to hinder me? So this is what's hindering me. And then here we have the kind of oracle card for reading that. And then question 3 is what lessons have I learnt recently that has helped my soul path journey? And then these cards here are answering what lesson do I need to learn? So moving forwards, what am I looking to learn moving forwards? And here we have the oracle card. Now I am basing this basically on perhaps coming out of 2022, moving into 2023 type scenario, or just simply where I am right now and how I'm moving forward. So this could be that this is a continuation of things that I've been doing, am doing, and I'm going to do. It sort of makes a bit more sense, I guess, past, present, future. That's just me logically trying to sort it out. So as you can see, I'll just drop that one into there. So if you wanted to pause and freeze, you could do. And then I have my rough notes here. So I really haven't written much. I've just put a couple of notes, and I'm still to come back and write more, but that gives you an idea of what's going on. Now it looks very beautiful when it's all laid out. So I've put the guidebooks out because I know some people wanted to know what the guidebooks are like for these cards. So I thought, as well as flipping the cards, I can read the excerpts from the guidebooks as well, for those of you who want to hear what the guidebooks say, to give you a little bit of a different view on the cards rather than just my interpretation. So here we go then. So the main question, question 1. So I could just flip them all over if you want. So question 1, where am I currently on my soul path? And then my shadow self. So I'm currently on my soul path, we're at 9 of Wands. And my shadow self here is the Tower. And then the oracle clarifier for this, interestingly, is Miss Sunshine. Which I love because I actually have a cup with little Miss Sunshine. I used to love the Mr. Men growing up, and I still love the sunshine now. So for 9 of Wands, so we can see, if I bring the card up probably. So on this card we can see there's lots of thorns, there's a rose being pierced, and we've got sort of things being healed. Well, I'm looking at this as being healed. So we've got a few like cuts and scrapes from coming through the kind of hedges in the background there, and then they've been mended. So we're mending something as well on this path, is what I'm seeing on this card. So that was kind of one of the things that sort of stuck out for me. And then my shadow self being the Tower, and the Tower being that sort of rebuilding. And, you know, sudden crumbling, sudden change of a situation, and then rebuilding, that sort of rebuilding, rebirthing process that's going on with the shadow self. And of course, as I said, Miss Sunshine is my oracle clarifier. So she's very pretty, she's holding on to some things, she's floating around, she's got, you know, beautiful buildings, and we've got lots of little fireflies and things. We have a moon there, so we have cycles going on, and we have a balance of day and night as well in there, in the card. So my original thoughts, as I've said a little bit there, but I'm struggling to find my way through the thorny trials of life, which kind of makes a lot of sense there, and carrying forwards with determination, because obviously 9's moving on to 10s. If we talk about the story of numerology, 9's going on to 10, so we're continuing. So there's a determination, a determined kind of feel about me. With the Tower rebuilding, so I've put this one down as breaking down my beliefs, trying out new directions and finding my tribe, basically. So I have in the last couple of years done lots of that, especially, you know, starting up the YouTube channel, meeting many other people in the community, you know, just really finding people that I can connect with and discuss this weird part of my life with that I couldn't with anyone else. And with Miss Sunshine, we've got energy, clarity, breaking down beliefs, trying out new directions and finding, clarity, courage, light, leaving your fears behind you, focus on your intentions and staying positive, which I always feel is a sunshine card. And then in the oracle, I want card 17. So if you can see this, it says sun, light, energy, courage, clarity. So you can see I took a lot of my keywords from here. A woman rises high into the sky. Her hair shines bright like the sun. Her skirt looks like a huge building. She comes from a darker place. Beneath her lies gloom and shadows, but her light is glowing. She is like the energy of life and the sun of the universe. She focuses her intentions on the positive and is able to gain clarity. She leaves the night and fears behind her. So I think that it sort of summed up what I had a feeling of here. So it just felt like I'm, you know, getting over my own fears, getting over myself, rebuilding beliefs and, you know, all those doctrines that have been like kind of hammered into me from being a child. With the 9 of Wands, I didn't use the book for this one. I just read for myself. So 9 of Wands, a woman is struggling to find her way through a thicket of thorns. It's left her with 9 cuts on her upper body. Though she is wounded and weary, she does not give up on her plan to break free. One hand is pushing down on the plant to break through, the other is holding a rose as a symbol of commitment and determination. Upright meaning perseverance, endurance, determination, commitment. Reverse, surrender, giving up and losing faith. So that still feels quite right. And then with the Tower, interestingly enough, this is my shadow deck. So the fact that Gisele picked a deck that I use for my own shadow work in a shadow position was quite cool, I thought. So we'll just see what this one says. Again, I read that intuitively for me, but we'll read the book. So the guidebook here says, upright disaster plans crumble with sudden change. The foundations of your beliefs may be built on shaky ideology. It's time to question your perceptions, which may be like the birds that perch and nest in crumbling facades. So negative situations have a purpose, a repurpose. It's time to try out new direction and congregate with other like minds and discuss these problems. And the reverse to this card is fear of change. And again, that could very well be part of your shadow self, you know, not wanting to upset the old apple cart moving forwards. And bear in mind, while we're talking about all of this, we are in the year of the Chariot. So we are in the year of Chariot. The numerological number is 7, and I had a 7 there in my Miss Sunshine. So that was my kind of like, oh, very interesting. The Tower is a 16, but if you add 1 and 6 together, again, you've got another 7. So so these things, okay, so I'm seeing 7s. These are the things popping out to me. They may not for you, but you know, again, let me know. So card number 2, question number 2. This is, how do I unlock the doors to my spiritual growth? We have the Sun. What lurks in the shadows to hinder me is the Devil. And the overall oracle card to this is the World. So here's my oracle, which is a rather beautiful world from the Deviant Moon Tarot. I have the Sun from Mystical Moments. It's interesting that she's kind of covering one eye there with a bird. I'm not sure what type of bird it is, but it kind of looks like a swallow to me. I do love the fact that she's got a blue bracelet on, and there's a lot of birds flying out around her. So there's a lot of air feeling about this. And this is, again, for me, the second Sun card. So we've got a Sunshine and a Sun. And then we have the Devil, from Tarot Nuages. If you can see the beautiful detail in this, it's amazing, amazing artwork on this deck. And we've got like all these people kind of bowing to him. He's not really doing anything in this one. He hasn't got the old chains that we're used to seeing. So these guys are all just kind of bowing to him. And it's sort of an interesting take on what's going on. So what did I think? My first thoughts with this. So with the Sun, I've written breakthrough, insight, generosity, the natural elements. Of course, the Sun also represents fire and warmth and all those things. It could also be working with fire magic, candles, incense for me. Sitting in the sunshine, recharging in the sunshine, nurture, growth of self. And then I have the Devil. So I've written down for the Devil, control, fear, delay, misunderstanding, baggage from the past. And that would link to the card above. So baggage from the past. So dropping off things that I don't need to bring with me from the past, and not allowing them to control me anymore. The World is telling me very definitely I'm at the end of one cycle and I'm ready to move into the next. Like, we're kind of done with where we've been and we're going on. And the Sun is sort of that positive moving forwards, looking after yourself. So how do I unlock the doors to my spiritual growth? So we've got positivity here, sunshine, nurture, looking after myself, that kind of clarity. Maybe that's where I've got my kind of thoughts about maybe some candle magic, working with flames, or perhaps just working with nature, working with the sunshine itself, allowing it to nurture my own bones. And then with the what lurks in the shadows to hinder me, that sort of misunderstanding, baggage from the past. So when you misunderstand people, you don't ask questions, or you don't question the whys, and you walk away with that feeling of mistrust, distrust, uncertainty. Sometimes that's because you just haven't asked the right questions. And I'm kind of done with this cycle, so I'm ready to definitely move into the next cycle, far more confident being, definitely shining my light bright, being happy about where I am and not worrying. And I think, again, that takes me with the 7. There is this wild card, endings and beginnings, moving forwards. So really liked that one. Next question. The third card is, so we have 7 of Cups, and isn't that beautiful, 7 of Cups? I love the constellations in the sky. I love to sit outside in the hot tub or by the fire, looking at the stars, just watching the sky, the world, move past all the things floating by in the sky that are up there, flashing lights and all sorts. I just love it. So this is kind of like, this is really one of those moments where I was like, yeah, that's amazing. I do enjoy doing this. And this is the answer to what lesson have I learned recently that has helped my soul path? And yeah, I have definitely done that. Definitely done that. And it's a 7, okay? So we have another 7. And then, what lessons do I need to learn moving forwards? And here we go. This is an oracle card that comes in the Trionfi Della Luna Rose Paradoxical, or you get this in the standard Trionfi Della Lunas version 2s. I don't know if it's in version 3s yet. And this is the Marseille Pip version, not the illustrated, I think. Yeah. And it's another 7, 5, 6, 7. And this is the Maiden. And she's about nurture, protection. So we've got a 7. And these 3 came out behind her. So that's why I've taken all 3. And we start with a 7 of Swords. So 7, number 2. Then we have the 7 of Cups. So another 7, and then we have the Queen of Cups. So she is a gorgeous Queen of Cups, and she's there. So what have we got? 7, 7, 7, 7. 7, 7. And a Page of Wands to boot. I know, you were all expecting another 7, weren't you? No. So we've got the Page of Wands as my oracle wrap up for this read. But on the base of the deck sat the 7 of Wands. So I wasn't done with all of my 7s. So he was on the base of the deck. I can't remember what was on the base of the deck for all the other cards, but that one, yeah, that kind of blew my mind a little bit there. Another 7. So what I have kind of felt is going on here, so with my 7 of Cups, I'm feeling like distractions can be both good and bad. So the world is full of possibilities. So never discount your possibilities, okay, when you've got this going on. With the Maiden, we've got a shooting star in this card as well. And we've got like the new moon. So this is interesting because today is the new moon. And I did this Thursday night. So we've got a new moon tonight. It's Saturday. So that's really cool. There's a new moon. We've got a shooting star. Maybe I need to make a wish. So with the Maiden, so protecting from negative influences. So she's protecting this person from negative influences. She's kind of doing the nurturing thing that I discussed. And there's like a custodianship here and a responsibility, like she's feeling responsibility, or she's taking on responsibility perhaps moving forwards with that 7. So that gives you that life lessons path and things going forwards. The 7 of Swords, the 7 of Cups, and the Queen of Cups were an intuitive hit for me. So it wasn't, I read them separately. It was just quite simply following my intuition to know when to speak up and out and how. So obviously intellect, speech, emotions and intuition. So not letting my emotions overtake me, still being able to know when it's worth saying something, because you know, if we're driven by emotion, it's not always the best thing. Sometimes you do have to balance the two. So I like to have the fact that we have the emotion and the head there balanced quite calmly, and we have, you know, following intuition, so following that kind of nurturing with the sunshine. Go back to the nurturing, the Maiden, following that nurturing feeling going forwards. And of course with these 7 of Wands, reminds me a lot of that sort of spiritual belief system as well. So again, that would hit straight into intuition for me. So basically my take on all of this was, we are in the year of the Chariot. I have got an awful lot of 7s. I've got a lot of life lessons to move forwards through. I've got a lot of things to learn, and I've got direction. So I need to pull into my direction with the 7 of Cups. You know, I'm not looking to do everything at once here. So I'm now going to look to maybe build on, focus on things, you know, one at a time. And I have to say, I definitely am feeling this at the moment. So there's been lots of opportunities have come up lately, and I've kind of just been saying no to them because I feel it's too much, too many. And if I spread myself too thinly, I can't concentrate or focus where I want to be or in the moment. And this year I want to be in the moment. And my word for this year is discernment. So whether that's discernment as I'm purchasing lots of things, or discernment as I purchase less and little, we shall see. But yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it made it kind of interesting for you to come through and look at. I have messaged Gisele, and we've like had a little conversation back and forward, and she was really curious to see really what I was thinking, what my takes are, and how I got to some of my thoughts and feelings about this deck, but I am still processing. So I'm still going to be processing for a little while. This isn't one that I've kind of won and done. This is one that I will sit down and come back to and revisit. But I just wanted to share with you guys and see if anyone else wants to try out this spread, because I do enjoy spreads. I do enjoy sharing them. I'm just no good at making them. So I love to share other people's if they allow me. I won't be covering this in my January review. What I'll do is I'll drop this video into my January reflections when I get there. There'll be a mention, a nod to it, but I won't be obviously laying out and showing you all this way because it's too many decks, and these decks actually aren't the ones I was using for this month. So I've kind of sidetracked on what was going on, and there's so many. Anyway, that's it from me. I will end the video there before I ramble on too much longer. Take care, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye bye.